Voters from 72 constituencies across 9 states decide their representatives in Phase 4 of Lok Sabha elections in India. Over 370 constituencies have voted in the first 4 phases so far. Stray incidents of violence are reported from West Bengal in this phase. BJP's Asansol candidate Babul Supriyo's car gets attacked outside a polling booth. Tensions soar in West Bengal as Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches a scathing attack on West Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Modi says that after the 23rd of May, the lotus will bloom everywhere. Also alleges that 40 Trinamool Congress legislators are in contact with him. The Congress party moves the Supreme Court against Prime Minister Modi, and BJP party President Amit Shah says the duo have repeatedly violated the model code of conduct. Also blames the poll panel of being partisan towards the ruling party. The Supreme Court will now hear the plea tomorrow. The Samajwadi Party replaces its candidate for Varanasi Lok Sabha constituency. Former BSF Jawan Tej Bahadur Yadav will now contest against Prime Minister Narendra Modi instead of Shalini Yadav. Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of India Election Watch. I am Krishna Kumar and this is the show that brings to you the latest on the world's biggest election. Phase 4 of India's Lok Sabha elections is over. Verified updates, unbiased analysis, the entire election day or voting day wrapped up in the next 30 minutes. Let's begin with the day's highlights. Now, Phase 4 of India's Lok Sabha elections have indeed come to an end. And with its conclusion, over 370 constituencies have chosen their candidates in the first 4 phases. Keep in mind, it's a 7-phase election. Let's take you through what happened in Phase 4 today. 9 states voted in this phase. A total of 72 parliamentary seats were on the line. The fate of 943 candidates has now been sealed. More than 12 crore people across these 9 states were eligible to vote today. Nearly 7.5 crore male voters and over 6 crore female voters, to be precise. Over 140,000 polling stations were set up for today. And this phase of polling was eventful for reasons more than one. Out of the 72 constituencies that voted today, the BJP bagged 56 last time around in the general elections of 2014. Congress won only 2 among these seats in 2014. Now, there were isolated incidents of violence reported from the state of West Bengal. BJP MP Babul Supriyo's car was attacked outside a polling booth in Asansol, but the party is rallying behind the Prime Minister. Several leaders say that there is a silent Modi wave that has hit the Bengal heartland.
मुझे मालूम है कि यहाँ के लोग भी ये चाहते हैं कि हमारा देश पे ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री का राज हो जो प्रधानमंत्री हम लोगों के इज्जत को गौरव को बनाए रखे और इसलिए वो सब जुड़े हुए हैं।
मैं यहाँ पे सालों से वोट करती आ रही हूँ और पहली बार मैंने 6:45 बजे से इतनी बड़ी संख्या देखी। ये लग रहा है कि मुंबई कर बाहर आके वोट करेंगे। मोदी लहर नहीं, मैंने कहा मोदी सुनामी होगी। जो विरोधी जो पार्टियां एक साथ मिलकर सिर्फ खुद के फायदे के लिए आई है उनको खत्म कर देगी।
So how was the voter turnout? As of 6 p.m. India time, total voter turnout is at over 62%. The voter turnout in West Bengal is over 76%, while Jammu and Kashmir polled nearly 10% each. In the states of Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand and Odisha, the polling percentage is over 65%, while the polling percentage in Rajasthan is a little below that 65% mark. Now, keep in mind, vote share and voter turnout are the 2 most important markers in any elections. In India, more than vote share, voting percentage makes a big difference. There are times that parties with less vote shares have won the elections. The best case example is 2009 elections when BJP secured 28.8% of the votes but ended up with 116 seats, whereas Congress secured 28.55% of the vote and ended up with 206 seats. Now, BJP with 31.3% in 2014 secured 282 seats, whereas Rajiv Gandhi with 39.5% of votes secured 197 seats in the elections of 1989. A clear indication that vote share does not translate into seats or cannot be a strong reference point either. In 2014, voter turnout was 66.4%, and in 1989, it was 61.95%. In the former, the opposition came to power, and in the latter, the incumbent lost the elections, but continued to be the single largest party in the Lok Sabha, or the lower house of the Indian Parliament. Congress got 19% of the votes in the last general elections of 2014 and ended with 44 seats, whereby the BJP got 11.36% votes and got 85 seats in 1989. Let's also now take a look at the issue of voter turnout. In 1998, voter turnout was 61.97%, and the NDA came to power. In 1999, the voter turnout was a little less, 59.99%, but people voted NDA to power again. In 2004, it fell further to 58.07%, but the UPA, or the United Progressive Alliance, led by the Congress Party, came to power, meaning that people who voted to the incumbent did not vote for them. Congress got 26.7% of the votes and BJP 22.16%. Similarly, in 2009, voting percentage decreased further to 57%, and the UPA was repeated again. A very high voting percentage in 2014 got the NDA back, and the percentage then stood at 66.4%. People came out to vote out the incumbent, and how? In 2014, in the first three phases, the total voting percentage stood at 68.5%, which in 2019 has risen to 69.1%. The question at this stage is whether it is anti-incumbency vote or a pro-incumbency vote. Both higher voting percentage and below expectation low polls have changed regimes in the past. Keep in mind, in 2019's case, voting percentage has maintained an upswing, which indicates two things. One, that the incumbent has been able to maintain and consolidate its vote bank. Second, that increase also reflects the increase in votes for the opposition. The bottom line is that the margin of victory and defeat in this election will be close, as higher percentage of voting would swell the accounts of both the opposition and the government. Now, as I've been telling you, the fate of candidates in 72 constituencies have been sealed today in Phase 4. Before we decode this phase of the elections, I will tell you why this is significant and what are the key questions that will come up at the end of this Phase 4 of the elections. First on our list is this. How will urban India vote, especially India's financial capital, maximum city, Mumbai? The city houses big India's finance, entertainment and industrial sector houses. It also hosts a large migrant population, making its composition complex and pan-India. Now, the city accounts for 16.6% of India's economy, 30% of taxes, 60% of customs duty, 40% of foreign trade, and pays 40,000 crore rupees as corporate taxes to the government of India. That's a check on the numbers. Mumbai is also one of the bellwether constituencies in India, like Delhi. Those who want to rule Delhi must do well in both the cities of Mumbai and Delhi. In 2009, the Congress Party did exceptionally well in Mumbai and went on to form the government again. In 2014, the BJP swept all seats in Mumbai and Delhi and went on to form the government with a simple majority. Now, Mumbai's elections are always star-studded. After all, who can blame it? It is the house or the home of Bollywood. high-profile candidates in this phase of the election. Stars like Urmila Matondkar are in the fray, but the question is, how will urban Mumbai vote? Urban India in the past couple of years has shown great propensity towards Prime Minister Narendra Modi. For the urban voters, Modi continues to be the charismatic leader who has focused on removing corruption from public life. Most of the NDA candidates in Mumbai are banking on Narendra Modi's appeal. On the other hand, the Congress party's strategy in urban India is focusing around jobs and civil infrastructure. It wants urban voters to connect with the party on existential views. Unlike the BJP, which has made terrorism, national security and Pakistan as electoral issues, Congress party has remained focused on basic issues like urban poor and jobs, of course. If Mumbai votes in favor of the BJP, then one can say safely that the campaign woven around terrorism and national security has triumphed. In case it does not, then the BJP will have to go back to the drawing board. Urban voters have become important and substantial, especially over the last 3 decades after the economic liberalization and the urbanization of India. Unlike the 60s and the 70s, when politics was firmly entrenched in rural India, this decade has seen the center of gravity shifting to urban India, thereby creating a new balance and tension in the Indian electorate. Like the 2014 elections, urban voters will have a very strong say in which party will be voted in or voted out of power. For the first time, urban India is not only important in terms of votes, but also in the construction of a pan-Indian political narrative. Now, it is not to say that rural voice does not matter or isn't important, but new urban voters have arrived on the scene, and that's the takeaway. And that brings us to the second question. Is there an urban-rural divide in voting pattern? Now, we all understand there is a rural-urban divide in India, but what about voting? Though the powerful campaign of the BJP has outshined that of regional parties and the Congress party, regional issues seem to have surfaced and made their presence felt for sure in this election. The election results, or the state election results of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan showed that rural constituencies matter and rural issues will not disappear so easily. India's rural economy continues to suffer from hidden employment and unprofitability. Prime Minister Modi's campaign initially was urban India focused, and the BJP had to do some immediate course correction after the Congress won all the state elections that preceded this central elections. Now, the BJP immediately announced an annual subsidy of 2,000 rupees per quarter, which was matched by the Nyay scheme of the Congress party. Now, a big chunk of the seats which are going to polls are rural in nature, and Congress stands a chance to make a comeback in these areas. Most of the issues of rural India were absent in 2014 as the campaign was dominated by anti-corruption. But this time around, rural issues have created a space for themselves. It is for this reason that most of the political parties have announced many programs for farmer subsidy. Even issues like stray cattle has become an electoral issue, especially in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh. Even the prices of sugarcane became an issue in the first phase of the Lok Sabha elections. It's for this reason that the BJP immediately attacked the Nyay scheme of the Congress, which promised to park 72,000 rupees as one-time transfer to 20% of India's poorest families. BJP said that the scheme is untenable and financially unsustainable. Nonetheless, it has not stopped either the BJP or the Congress party or even regional parties from promising SOPs in rural areas. And with that, we have question number 3. Is it Operation quote-unquote hold by the Bharatiya Janata Party? Why am I asking this question? Because last time around, BJP won big across India. More importantly, BJP swept the polls in few states, be it Bihar, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand. The BJP and the NDA decimated the grand old party in the last elections. Let me pull up some numbers in Gujarat. BJP won all the 26 states. In Rajasthan, all the 25 seats on offer went to BJP. In Uttar Pradesh, 71 out of the 80. Madhya Pradesh, 27 out of the total 29. All 7 in the national capital and all 5 in the state of Uttarakhand. Besides these, 41 of 48 seats in Maharashtra as well. Among the seats up for grabs today, and NDA has won 56 seats in 2014, and that is 77% of the seats. And that's where this particular phase 4 of the Indian elections becomes extremely crucial. Now, the Congress party came to power in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh in the state elections of last year. And usually parties that do well in the state assembly election months before general elections tend to be favored. Now, it's a significant marker, but that is not a given. Having said that, Congress is likely to put up a better show in these states, at least better than the last elections of 2014. That would mean that the NDA camp will be nervous. Simply put, the stakes are so high for the NDA in this phase. And that brings us to question number 4. Can the Congress party gain in the north, the Hindi heartland? Yes, they are likely to. But it will not be easy. The assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan showed that Congress is sure to improve upon their abysmal performance from last time around, but it also made the cracks visible in the Congress camp. For instance, in Rajasthan, the Congress party came to power, but the infighting in their camp and the presence of rebel candidates made it a photo finish. Ditto Madhya Pradesh. The other player can play spoil sport in these two states in the presence of the Bahujan Samaj party. Mayawati's BSP has proven a vote bank of 3 to 5% in Rajasthan, 5% in Madhya Pradesh. Besides the BSP factor, BJP remains strong in Madhya Pradesh. Yes, they were voted out of power after 15 years in power, but they still secured more votes in Madhya Pradesh than the Congress party. And assembly elections are not Lok Sabha elections. Prime Minister Modi and BJP President Amit Shah have campaigned aggressively to retain as many as they can. In Uttar Pradesh, it is the test of BJP's strong election machinery versus the Kairana model. Congress party looks unlikely to add a significant number of seats in India's largest state. The party looks weak at an organizational level. A three-way race is not likely to help the grand old party in Uttar Pradesh. In total, Congress will be hoping to improve upon its showing last time in the heartland. It's crucial for the party. More seats in the heartland will not only help the party regain lost influence, crucially, it will mean that the BJP's numbers would reduce correspondingly. It's a simple zero-sum game in the Hindi heartland of India. And last of all, not the least of all, the role of regional parties. Nearly half of West Bengal's 42 seats have decided their candidates as of today. Odisha's assembly as well as Lok Sabha polls are over as well. Now, this is a right setting to discuss the issue of regional parties. BJP won an absolute majority in 2014. As a consequence, the regional parties did not have much say in the last 5 years. Parties like Trinamool Congress Party and Biju Janata Dal or BJD could be now crucial in deciding the next government. The BJP has pulled out all stops in Odisha to minimize the damage. It's hoping to benefit from anti-incumbency at the state level, and Congress looks unlikely to gain in these two states, no matter what happens. Now, several regional leaders have showed an inclination to support Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister of West Bengal and the Chief of the Trinamool Congress Party. Now, be it K. Chandrasekhar Rao, KCR of the Telangana Rashtriya Samiti, the Chief Minister of Telangana, or Chandrababu Naidu of Telugu Desam Party, the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. And like TMC and Biju Janata Dal could hold the key to the formation of the next government. And those are the crucial markers from this phase of the Lok Sabha elections. And now, to take it forward, we have joining us on this broadcast live from London, Mr. Andrew Whitehead, writer and former senior journalist with the BBC, and from India's capital, New Delhi, we have Lord Meghnad Desai, author and professor emeritus at the London School of Economics. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Lord Meghnad Desai, let me quickly begin with a question to you. Will BJP retain its stronghold in the Hindi heartland? That's the big question emerging from this phase of the elections.
I think so, because for an incumbent to be thrown out, you require a much bigger turnout than what we have. You know, across across the Hindi heartland, the turnout has been fairly tepid, more or less like it was last time. No great surge one way or another. Except in West Bengal, there is no surge. And look at Bihar. Bihar has got a very low turnout. And even Madhya Pradesh hasn't got a very exciting turnout. I think this election is going to turn on fairly small margins of victory, because in the state elections, BJP had a very similar vote share to Congress in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, but the seats share was very different. You could reverse the thing and say, yes, with very similar vote share, you could have BJP coming back, because BJP is trusted more as a central government. Modi is trusted more, and that's, I think, what might happen.
Right. Mr. Andrew Whitehead, we've been discussing this as a topic here today on the show, and that is the rural-urban divide. And you're seeing a high-profile contest in urban India, in Mumbai, happening side by side, the Hindi heartland contest. How are you viewing this phase 4 of the elections, keeping in mind the kind of polling percentage that we've seen?
Well, we're now seeing contests in areas where basically it's the Congress and the BJP head-to-head. Places like, not so much Maharashtra, but Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, where voting has started today. States where Congress did particularly well in the state elections at the end of last year. And as you've said, state elections a few months before general elections tend to be a fairly accurate predictor. So it's likely that BJP will not win a sweep in Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh. It's facing a much more formidable challenge, as Lord Desai has said, in Uttar Pradesh, with the Samajwadi Party and the BSP forming what seems to be an effective alliance. Maharashtra, it's very much more difficult to say. Congress virtually was reduced to just a couple of MPs in Maharashtra last time round. My sense is that the BJP and Shiv Sena will clearly retain the upper hand in Maharashtra.
All right, that is as far as the state of Maharashtra is concerned. But Lord Meghnad Desai, if I can come to you on it, how do you see rural India and urban India voting differently this time around? There is a propensity for urban India to sort of gravitate towards Prime Minister Modi, but farmer distress has been an issue that the BJP has been tackling repeatedly across states in the last 3 years.
I think it wouldn't be at all surprising if there were differential urban and rural trends. As you say, the BJP has always been particularly strong in the cities and the towns, and the issue of rural distress, I think, is going to determine a lot of votes in rural areas. So I would expect the BJP to perform significantly better in urban areas than in rural areas.
Lord Meghnad Desai, would you concur with what Mr. Andrew Whitehead is saying?
I think so, but we have to remember that the Modi government has done much more in rural areas by way of building rural housing, electrification, toilets, so on. And so although it doesn't really solve the problem of farmers' distress, people may realize that their lives have been improved much more in the last 5 years. So compared to the Vajpayee government, which had neglected rural areas, Narendra Modi's government has done quite a lot. So we have to see whether that makes any difference to the final vote, or people are still worried about farmers' distress, and that's what will take the vote to Congress.
All right, if I can ask you, gentlemen, at this stage to wager a guess, if I may, Mr. Andrew Whitehead, because this is Operation Hold as far as the ruling BJP is concerned, 56 out of the 72 seats that went to polling today, they had won it in the last election. Where would you peg BJP's number in this election, if I can ask you to hazard a guess?
Where do I think they'll be in terms of the 72 seats which have contested today?
Exactly.
I think I'd be rash to put a number on that, but I think they will win considerably fewer than the 56 seats that they won of these 72 last time round. As I say, in both Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, they face a much more formidable challenge than Congress. If you look, though, at the state election results in November, December, the share of the popular vote that BJP and Congress got in both Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh was almost identical. There wasn't a wave to one side or the other. I suspect the BJP will claw back some support compared to the state election results, but it would still mean that they will lose a significant number of seats in those states which they won 5 years ago.
All right. Lord Meghnad Desai, if I can ask you, away from Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, will the BJP's aggressive campaigning in the state of Odisha reap rewards? And the same with, the high voter turnout in West Bengal. What does it mean? Will the BJP cause an upset to Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress?
I think Odisha is going to be a very interesting case because there is incumbent fatigue in Odisha, and Naveen Patnaik has lost quite some leading supporters like Jay Panda, who has gone and joined the BJP. So I think in Odisha it's very likely that the BJP will spring a surprise. And it's going to be a sort of, fairly closely balanced result when it finally comes. But I think Odisha will go the BJP way much more than it did before.
All right, then Lord Meghnad Desai and Mr. Andrew Whitehead, I'm going to thank you, both of you gentlemen, for taking time out to be with us here on this edition of India Election Watch. It's been a high-octane phase in which 72 seats have been up for grabs. We'll see what happens when counting day arrives, but we also have to say that today's elections also witnessed the who's who of all your favorite stars queuing up across the country to vote in this phase. We are leaving you with those visuals because we've completely run out of time here on this edition of India Election Watch. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off. Good night.
Very important for each and every Indian to be a part of this, to cast your vote. Encourage all the people who are watching by your channels to please go out and vote.